This video is going to help you to stop fighting pain, because when you start to fight it, you're onto a losing thing. And it's going to help you start to neutralize it with something that I've coined paranoid detective theory. So first of all, listen to this quote from scientist Paul Ingraham from painscience.com. He calls pain, open quotes, a volatile, misleading sensation that comes entirely from an overprotective brain, not our tissues. End quote. So I found this to be really true. In the last 5 months, I've had 2 hip replacements, and I noticed that the difference in my experience the first time I stood up after each operation, after each surgery, was completely different. And all the conditions were pretty much the same. So I'd had a full spinal block, and the spinal block was wearing off enough that I could stand up. So after the first operation, I was absolutely terrified. I was shaking and I was crying, and it really hurt. After the second operation, I wasn't. And of course you can say, yes, you'd been through it. You'd had the confidence of getting through it. Yes, but let's dig a bit deeper. It was the uncertainty after the first time that made my brain really overprotective and created all this unnecessary pain. So I had the uncertainty. I didn't know how much I would be able to walk. I didn't know what was safe. I didn't know if I was going to fall over. I remember being terrified of falling over. What this proved to me is that quote was so true. My brain, after the end of the first surgery, was like a really paranoid detective. Because here's the thing, you don't get pain sensations from your tissues immediately. They go up your spinal cord and into your brain, and then your brain filters them. All scientists will tell you this. And so I have realized that for so many people, when they're feeling pain, which is unnecessary, doesn't have a appropriate protective function, their brain is like a paranoid detective that's, oh, I think there's danger here. I'm going to make it really hurt to be cautious. The great news is that there is something we can do. And I have come up with this idea of safety signals. My idea is that if we can send safety signals to the brain and they're powerful enough, the brain will sense that it is safe and that there isn't the danger that it's assuming. I've made a video all about what those safety signals are, and I've linked it underneath this one. So check that out if you're interested. But there is a lot of hope, because that brain, although it's a paranoid detective, it is relying a lot on information from the outside world, and you can give your own brain helpful information which will turn the dial down on your pain. Cheers. This is Harriet Morris from the Pain Relief Project.